I didn't get into Fortnite until last year's Marvel season, meaning I missed the chance to get Solid Snake, and Epic are too cowardly to bring back Battle Pass content. Apparently they're bringing back the content from the exact season I started on, but no earlier. This makes me sad, as a big enough Metal Gear fan to name myself after the series. So with the impending release of Metal Gear Solid Delta and the grand return of the series at large, I think now is the perfect time for Epic to make up for being such giant losers by giving us a Snake Eater collaboration. I'm going to present my entire concept for such a collab, structured the same way I explain Mortal Kombat in Fortnite in my other videos, shameless plug. Let's get started with outfit. The obvious character to add would be Naked Snake, aka Big Boss. He's the protagonist of MGS3, whose remake is about to drop, and he's the character with the most appearances in the series, serving as the lead for around half of them, and he's the series' third protagonist following Snake and Raiden, who are both already present in Fortnite. So the character choice has no competition. You'd maybe have the boss join him, but let's focus on the one who is above even her for now. His design should pull from MGS3, since that's getting the remake, it's the most recognisable design for him, and it's the one with the most potential. I think most people would say he should have that outfit, his sneaking suit, and his dress uniform from the ending. While it would be nice, I would sacrifice the other outfits if it meant adding more to customizability. That is a popular feature with the original superheroes, Iron Man, and the recent Mandalorian, so lean into that with a character that really benefits from it. We have the base fatigues as the outfit. The player can choose whether Snake has the bandana and eye patch or not, mixing and matching as they desire. Maybe we have the Rykov mask as well, since Fortnite already has a Raiden head model and I don't have time to explain that for non-fans. Then come the fatigues themselves. MGS3 introduced the camouflage system where the player can change the colours of their clothes to suit the environment, with a wide range of camos on offer. The system returned in Peace Walker and the Phantom Pain, but in a simplified form where the camo is chosen before the mission commences rather than on the fly. I'm picturing a Fortnite Big Boss to essentially do the latter version, offering several colours and patterns for the player to use, with a nice selection of go-tos like Olive Drab, Tiger Stripe and Squares, and a few of the more specific ones like Choco Chip, or ones taken from bosses. The player chooses on the loadout screen and can aim for aesthetic, or matching the environment they plan to drop into, aiming for greenery, Olive Drab, aiming for the mountains, Snow. It's a fun way to emulate the most iconic gameplay mechanic from MGS3 to both celebrate the original and promote the remake. It's fun for fans of the original, and is a smart marketing tool for the remake. And face camo would be nice to include, but isn't vital. The outfit is the main thing, and I'd sacrifice face camo for more fatigues. Back bling. For this, I feel like there are a few options we could go with. The most obvious is the backpack from the start of the game that you have to climb a tree to retrieve. Makes sense, but it's underwhelming. Option 2 is food to reflect the game's stamina system. I'm thinking either the series' iconic ration, or a caged live snake to reflect the game's subtitle. Third, we have the Patriot, the weapon of the boss, which enters Big Boss's possession at the end of the game and becomes available on New Game Plus. I personally prefer the Patriot, but I don't know how okay Epic might be with using guns as back bling. In that case, I'd take the food option. Pickaxe. The only melee weapon Big Boss has in MGS3 is his knife, which was a new weapon for the series at the time, but it's a little generic and it lacks a unique design to justify its inclusion. So I would go for the Stun Baton from Peace Walker, which has a much more distinct look, so it stands out more. Glider. I'm sure Epic would include the parachute from the opening scene, and it's not a bad choice, but it's a little bland. So here's my concept. The flying platform enemies from MGS3. Not a large part of the game, but I think the best, most fun option for an MGS3 glider is to take inspiration from Solid Snake and Smash Bros, and have one of these guys show up for the player to grab onto the bottom of. The enemy soldier, whether the ones from MGS3 or some Fortnite analog, is actively looking around to try and find the player, only successfully doing so and getting the series' iconic exclamation mark when the player detaches. Contrail. This one pulls from MGS5 Ground Zeroes. One of the main collectibles in that game is the XOF patches, which are scattered around the map. One is hidden on Big Boss's person and comes loose when he rolls around. So the contrail is a bunch of patches flying off of the player, similar to Ace's Fly. But instead of XOF, it's Fox, Foxhound, MSF, Diamond Dogs, and Outer Heaven patches. Every military faction Big Boss has ever been associated with. It could go through them in order, choose one at random, or let the player choose. Emote. I think there's no question that Big Boss's emote would be the salute from the end of the game and Subsistence's cover. The only question is whether or not the grave would spawn at his feet, or whether it would be a group emote for players to salute each other. Other options could include reaching for the butterfly and failing after losing his eye, or creating the C3 butterfly, but they're not iconic, nor emulated the way the salute is. It would be really cool if we could get Eva's motorbike with Snake in the sidecar, but that would never happen. It would absolutely be the salute. Rap. Naturally, it would include the Fox unit logo, given how the old Kojima Productions used that as its own logo, and how that logo has prominence in a Ground Zero side mission. The only question is the rest of the design, which I imagine would be either all black, or a tiger stripe pattern to reflect MGS3's setting. Jam track, Snake Eater, Be Real. But alongside that, they should include the music from the opening scene of MGS3 so that we can have it played during a free fall as a nod to the Halo jump scene that opens Big Boss's adventure. That can even be used in a trailer with Big Boss Halo jumping out of the battle bus. Tell me you wouldn't love that. If Epic were to implement something like this, we would not only have an alternative for those who missed the chance to get Solid Snake, but we'd also have a very fun, very customizable new character to celebrate this gaming juggernaut returning from its decade-long dormancy. Should such a thing come to pass, use creator code SNAKE with 4 A's to show love for the genius who saved video games. Also, if there's enough interest, I'll make a video explaining all the Metal Gear content in Fortnite currently. If you liked this video, why not subscribe and support me on Patreon like these fine people here? If not, then make sure to share it with your enemies so they can suffer along with you. Today's recommended content is Metal Gear Solid Story Mode by Now Edwin, a Fortnite creative mode remake of MGS1 with 2 parts currently available. Here's a video of the creator playing through part 1 with the island code in the description.